So my name is Angelina Burton. At Douglas, I am in the Bachelor of Applied Psychology. And when I was in Korea, I was in the humanities program, but I mostly just did language classes. So I chose to go to Korea because I have been interested in Korean culture for about 4 or 5 years now. A bunch of my friends were doing study abroad and they were going to Spain. I wanted to do a study abroad of some sort, but I don't know, Spain didn't speak to me. But I was walking through the foyer at Douglas and I saw that there was a booth for universities in Korea, and I thought, oh, that's perfect for me. There were 2 options. There was Dankook or Gongguk, but when I applied in September, the only application that was available was the Dankook one. So I quickly put in an application just to see if I could get in, and I did make it in. Went to Jukjeong because they had the Korean language, which is what I wanted to do, versus the other campus I think had more science stuff. And I knew I wasn't going to be able to do any psychology classes because the ones I could see online that they held were more like the 1st and 2nd year classes, which I already did. So I just wanted to go to learn some Korean. I didn't really have that many expectations before going. I was really hoping I'd meet more friends. I love meeting new people. I was a little bit worried to have a roommate for the first time in my life. And also I was a little bit worried because this would be like the longest time I've ever been away from my parents. So yeah, I was a little bit scared for that. So in my dorm, it was all set up by the school. There were a few people who found accommodation elsewhere, but for the most part, everyone was in the international hall dorm. For me, it was 2 people per room, just the twin beds, desks, shared bathroom. There was no kitchen, and everyone on our floor had a common area that had a hot water tank or like a water filter system and a microwave. So that's where we could make our food. And yeah. So every day I had class from 3:30 to 6:30. So for most of the day, my mornings would be a little boring, wouldn't do much, make some lunch, maybe hang out with my friends, but for the most part, not really. I might take a walk into town because there was like a super nearby little town that had a bunch of shops and foods and stuff. But for the most part, I would just kind of stay in or around the dorm and then go to class, which was about like a 5 to 10 minute walk away from the dorm building. And then after class, I'd walk back to my dorm, meet up with some friends, and we would always go out for dinner. Like, I think almost every single day we went out for dinner. Just had a bunch of the different restaurants that were super duper close by to campus. On the weekends, I tried my best to go out, visit, usually just various places around Seoul, in the different districts. But yeah, I did like Duolingo and some stuff online since probably like 4 years ago. So yeah, I knew a little bit, but when I was in Korea, I learned a little bit more. I learned the reasons why grammar was certain ways, which I didn't know before. So yeah, I just kind of like built more foundation and to be able to go further with my Korean learning in the future. Some of my favorite things that I did were just meeting new people in general. And for years, I wanted to travel to Jeju Island. It was always kind of one of my bucket list items, I guess, was to go there. And I was really lucky that at the end of my semester, I was able to travel there. I had a lovely time, saw a lot of lovely waterfalls, ate oranges. that's the thing to do there. And yeah, I had a great time. One of my favorite fun facts is that Jeju Island, the middle is just a massive volcano, dormant volcano. And then everywhere else around the island, they're called parasitic cones. And I wasn't exactly sure what that meant. I didn't visit any of them, unfortunately. But there's like over 200. I think it's just like smaller volcanoes that have are like kind of connected to the main volcano. So that was really cool. It's like Jeju Island is like the biggest amount of these parasitic cones ever in the world. And also at like all the beaches, there was just a bunch of volcanic rock. I thought that was really, really cool. They also do like how like Canadian Indigenous people have like inukshuks. They do something similar with like stacking rocks to mark things. I thought that was really, really interesting and brought me back to home. So the most challenging thing I'd say was I'm a picky eater normally. I don't like trying that many new things, but being abroad without my parents, I really had to try new foods, and luckily I did. Tried many new foods, have a lot of favorite foods now. What else? Oh yes, living with someone was a big challenging thing that I had to overcome, but it worked out, so we're all good. So we had, they called them like international ambassadors, just like a bunch of like upper year students that volunteered to help all the exchange students kind of get accustomed to Korean culture and like go on fun things. So there were a few like parties that we had. There was the welcome party right in the beginning. What else did we do? We went to a folk village. We went to a baseball game. We went to the other Dankook campus for a little field trip and to watch them play basketball. Was that it? We also like celebrated one of the ambassadors' birthdays. A few of them would invite us out to eat sometimes. So yeah, all like the planned things, like the ambassadors and all the events, they were great. I had a lot of fun. Things that I gained, a lot of new contacts all over the world. There's people from everywhere, like a bunch of people in Europe, a bunch of people all over Asia, Southeast Asia, East Asia. It's crazy. So many people that I met and that have all said that like if I ever wanted to come to their country, that I have a spot to stay. I think learning a new language was a great skill that I've learned, and also just gaining a lot of more life experience. One big cultural difference that I found is that since there's no tax, no tip. With the no tip though, I feel like there's a lot of a different view on customer service, especially at restaurants. The workers are not coming up to you every few minutes saying like, how are you doing? Do you need anything else? If you need something, you just press the little button and the worker will come to you, which I think kind of eases a lot of stress for me at least. And the no tax, you see, I don't know, I always appreciate when there's no tax when I'm in other countries. Like you see the price and it's the price you have to pay. You don't have to guess about the tax. So I would love to work with youth counseling, youth worker type of area. I think the study abroad program has helped me. I mean, one tip that you can give everyone is just to step out of your comfort zone, which is definitely what I did, especially me being the only student from Douglas, but also the only Canadian. I really had to extend my reach. I couldn't just stay in a little tight-knit circle. So that can definitely help with having some life experience and being able to coach youth in teens and kids on being able to take a little step out of your comfort zone. Before I did this, I definitely I was nervous because for a long time it didn't feel real that I was actually going. And even while I was there, it didn't feel real. It felt like immediately I was like, oh, this is new normal. But yeah, beforehand, I was worried for being obviously in a different country that I'd never been to before by myself. But I'm so glad that I was able to take that step into not forcing myself, but pushing myself to go, even just to apply. Because when I was applying, I was like, oh, I'm nervous, because if I actually got in, I'd be leaving the country for a long time, for the longest I've ever left. But I'm really, really glad that I talked with my friends that I had here. They were all like, Angelina, you should do it. You should go. You wanted to go to Korea for a while now. And yeah, I'm super duper glad. So if anyone is on the fence about applying, I'd say do it. Because, I mean, if you get in, whoa, crazy, you're going to a different country. If you don't get in, there's more semesters to apply. And there's so many different countries that you can apply to. I was really surprised at how many countries Douglas offers. Yeah. I would absolutely recommend it. I think it was very, very refreshing. It could help with burnout a lot. If you just keep doing the same thing over and over again at home, but then being able to do a semester abroad, changing your environment, changing maybe even the things that you're learning, it can help to re-appreciate your own degree. Because I'm definitely like, before the semester, it's always like the same type of like psychology classes that I was taking, but I had a little bit of a break, still doing school though, and now I'm really, really excited for the fall semester. I also just think it's a lot of more, again, life experience that you can gain.